Hello everybody. This is Alyssa from Make Arts and Crafts and Sushlit, the little Susu. Today we are here for my Lunar New Year video for the week. And today's video we are going to make my Spring Festival Lucky Cat Lego. I'm super excited for it. My mom came up to go house hunting with me, well, really to look at the house, the top 7 houses, and in the process she brought my mail up with her, and in that mail was my Spring Festival or Lunar New Year Legos that I had purchased, which included my Lucky Cat. So I was super excited for that. So we're gonna break into the Legos. I was super excited. So we need bag number 1. We're gonna look at this and get started on this and go into it and go, yay, Lego building. I like to dump all the Legos out. Well, just the number 1 Legos. Bag number 1. And I have to try to see around a cat who does not want to move because she wants, it's chilly. It's extremely cold right now. And Sushi is in the middle of everything. So we're going to get started on this and then talk about some interesting facts, all of that fun stuff. And go from there. And then we need this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't see past your carcass. I can't see past your little cat carcass, Sushi. I need to be able to see my directions, and I can't see my directions when I'm working around your little body, your little cat body. I have to work around your little cat body. She's like, Mom, it's cold. I need to put your sweater on you because it's cold in here. It is definitely chilly. It's almost like borderline too cold in here, and I almost need to turn the heat up a little bit more, but I'm trying to hold off and not. But I should, because it's just going to get colder as the evening progresses. It's just going to get colder. It's supposed to, the forecast even has it set for snow, and I'm in Florida, you guys. I'm in Florida. There should be absolutely no reason for snow in Florida. No, I do not approve this message. This message is not approved. Sushi's like, you have not built Legos in forever, Mom. So, as a reminder for you guys, you have a couple more days to enter, to find what the code is and enter for the first prize over on my whip and chat from last week. So make sure you do that, and if you are entering for a prize, make sure that you have filled out the entry Google form. There you go. I was like, what is that word? So fill out the Google form that will be linked in this video below. So make sure you fill out that Google form because that is vital for me to know the details for prizes, and all prizes will be shipped at the end of the event, because it just makes it easier for me to ship everything in one go, because I send you more than just what the actual prize is for the week. You get a whole goodie box. Oh, you're gonna lay down. Okay, I can accept laying down, Sushi. I can accept laying down. That just means you have to actually lay down. You have to actually lay your carcass down, Susu. She's watching. She's investigating what's going on. So, anywho, we are going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what's going on. I need to look up and see if there's I'm pretty sure we're going to have, it's a big city. I'm sure there's got to be some kind of lunar festival going on, but that's on my to-do list, is to look up and see if there's some Lunar New Year festivals or some spring festivals in the area, because I really want to go to a spring festival or some kind of Lunar New Year festival. So that's on my agenda to do, is to look up and see if there's anything going on. But so essentially, with kind of some interesting facts for the week for you guys. Basically, there it is. January 21st. Are you shivering? Are you a cold baby? You're shivering. You need to go lay under the blanket with your sister. So January 21st, which is the day that I'm filming this, which is Tuesday, through January 28th is what's called the little year, and this is where you prepare for the new year, at least for this year. So that first week is preparations for the new year, and it lasts until New Year's Eve. So the 8 days of preparations, and then the actual spring festival, which is the Lunar New Year, which this year starts on January 29th and runs through February 8th. That's the spring festival. So Lunar New Year in spring starts spring festival, and that runs for 11 days. And then you have the Lantern Festival, and the Lantern Festival is 4 days. It's February 9th to the 12th, and I think it goes through, basically it goes through the first, I believe it's the first full moon or new moon. I'd have to remember, I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's like that first whatever moon after the new year is when the Lantern Festival, it would be the new moon. It'd have to be a new moon because you're not going to launch a lantern on a full moon. So it goes through the first new moon after the new year. That would be the Lantern Festival. So altogether, that's 8 days, 11 days, and then 4 days. So that's the full time frame. So 8, 11, that's 19, 20. So it's like 23 days total of festivities for the Lunar New Year. That's what you would end up with. And what we're going to talk about, so it's kind of a little bit of the basics. Let me pull up some fun facts here. We're going to look at some fun facts. 21 things you didn't know about the Chinese New Year. So it's celebrated by more than 20% of the world, which, I mean, if you think about it, China makes up a big portion, but it's not just China that celebrates. It's the most important holiday in China and to Chinese people all over the year. But it's not just China. So in China, you'll hear it known as Chunjie, or the Spring Festival. But then you also will hear it in other countries as well. So it's still wintry, but the holiday marks the end of the coldest days. And people will welcome spring and what it brings along, which is planting and harvest, new beginnings, fresh starts. And you'll hear it also called the Lunar New Year, which is what I'm referring it to, because more than just China celebrates it. So you'll see it in North and South Korea, Vietnam, as well, and then other countries beyond those. So they also celebrate it. Thailand celebrates it as well. Taiwan, a lot of other countries celebrate the Lunar New Year. And because it goes according to the lunar calendar, there's no set date. So the Spring Festival is, so according to the lunar calendar, the Spring Festival is on the 1st and lasts until the 15th, or the full moon. When you try to calculate it, so when you're on the lunar calendar, that's January 1st to the 15th, which is the full moon. And then unlike the Western holidays, like Thanksgiving or Christmas, when you try to calculate it with a solar or a Gregorian calendar, which is the date moves all over the place. So that's why we'll see it anywhere from like January 21st to February 20th. So like last year it was February 10th. This year it's January 29th. The next year it'll be back in February. So it has moved to the Gregorian calendar like the rest of the world celebrates. So which is why the date moves from all over the place. And what's really interesting is there are still people that will still calculate their birthdays and ages according to the lunar calendar, which is kind of an interesting thing. It was originally celebrated, that was kind of a more interesting fact number 2. I need to get back to working on this. I got distracted. So interesting fact number 3, it is a day for praying to gods. So Spring Festival was originally a ceremonial day to pray to gods for a good planting and harvest season. Because in the early days, as an agrarian society, harvest was everything. And people would pray to their ancestors as they were treated as gods. So if you think about Mulan, in the movie Mulan, the ancestors were what everybody, they prayed to the ancestors for pretty much everything. That's what everybody went to. They referred to the ancestors. They prayed to the ancestors. They went to the ancestors. They did everything to the ancestors. And they got little mushu is what they got for it. But that's what you think of. Also, the myths are really interesting too. So we also have the it's a time for fighting off monsters. So there's a lot of myths that surround Spring Festival. So according to one legend, there's a monster named Nian, and it would come about every New Year's Eve, and most people would hide in their homes, but one boy was brave enough to fight him off using firecrackers. And the next day, people celebrated their survival by setting off even more firecrackers. So the boy fought him off with firecrackers, and people celebrated by launching off even more firecrackers. And that practice has become a crucial part of the Spring Festival. 5. Most fireworks in the world are set off on the night of the Spring Festival for Lunar New Year. As in the myth about Nian, firecrackers are supposed to scare off monsters and bad luck, so people stay up on Chinese New Year's Eve and set off firecrackers at midnight. In the morning, firecrackers are used again to welcome the new year and good luck. So that same night, families will also burn fake paper money and printed gold bars in honor of their deceased loved ones. Similar to the Korean Chuseok holiday or the Mexican Day of the Dead traditions, they believe that the offerings will bring fortune and good luck to their ancestors in the afterlife. 6. Sometimes this is illegal. I mean, it's illegal in the U.S. Due to safety reasons and concerns over air pollution, a lot of cities in China have banned fireworks, and more than 500 cities have restrictions against it. But people don't care, and they will do it anyways. Beijing actually banned fireworks for 13 years, and the ban was lifted in 2006 because of the angry public, because they were like, we want our fireworks. So if you're in China during the Chinese New Year, you're going to hear and see fireworks and for a minimum of 3 nights, but it can go on for weeks. I mean, if you're in Hawaii for regular New Year, fireworks go on for like a solid 2+ weeks for New Year's in Hawaii. It's crazy how long the fireworks go on in Hawaii for New Year, for the New Year. And I mean, China is going to be even more intense for the fireworks in China for the New Year. So it's just really interesting how celebrated the New Year is in China for like when it comes to fireworks. So that's something that's kind of fascinating seeing that. It is number 7. It is the longest Chinese holiday. So the Spring Festival itself is technically 15 days, but celebrations start on New Year's Eve, making it 16 days. You can also say that it starts, that the holiday season starts in lunar December, which that like pre-area, like this year being in January with the Laba Festival. That's around 40 days of celebrations. Crazy. So during this holiday period was kind of fascinating. The Chinese people spend twice as much on shopping and eating out than Americans spend on Thanksgiving. Wow, that's a really interesting statistics, actually. That the average the Chinese people spend twice as much on shopping and eating out than Americans do on Thanksgiving. And if you've ever paid for like Thanksgiving food or anything like that, you know that, it doesn't come cheap paying for Thanksgiving, for an American Thanksgiving. Traditionally, you have to spend time with your family and can only go out after the 5th day. It's a national holiday. The majority of stores are closed as well. And the month before the holiday begins, people start to stock up, and they will buy Nianhao or New Year products. Chinese stock up on cooking supplies, snacks, gifts, new clothes, and more. 8. Spring Festival causes the largest human migration in the world, which is another fascinating point. So this is where the most important part of the Chinese New Year is the family reunion, and this is where you'll see the mass exodus of people from the cities leaving the big cities and heading back to visit their family wherever their family may be. So like a lot of people that live in the cities for regular time, this is where they will leave the city and they will go home to wherever their family is from, like to the more rural areas, and visit their family. So it's a big portion of it is going back home, or they'll go on vacation as well. If they are not going back to visit family, they'll go back to visit there. So everyone should come back home for New Year's Eve dinner is the biggest tradition for it. And in modern China, most elderly parents live in rural villages while their children work in the city. So migration back home and to go on vacation is called Chunyun, or spring migration. So the subways will be jam-packed with people in normal times, but it's going to be crazy. And the earliest you can buy train tickets is 60 days before, which means there's a mad rush of fighting for tickets. So in 2015, statistics showed that there was around 1,000 ticket sales every second for this, which is, wow, that's a crazy number. Singles hire fake number 9, singles will hire fake boyfriends and girlfriends to take home, to show, you know, those nosy relatives for the holidays, especially on Thanksgiving. It's even worse in China. So people will hire fake boyfriends or girlfriends, because having children and passing down the family name is huge for Chinese culture. So desperate singles will hire a fake boyfriend or girlfriend to take home, and those who can't or don't want to go home can rent themselves out as a fake boyfriend or girlfriend. So, and you have to be prepared to answer questions on your salary, your career, when you want to have kids, and you can hire somebody to answer those questions. Number 10, no showering, sweeping, or throwing out garbage. Showering is not allowed on New Year's Day. Sweeping and throwing out garbage is not allowed before the 5th day, and this is to make sure you don't wash away the good luck. What else is taboo during the Chinese New Year? So hair cutting, using scissors, knives, and other sharp things, arguing, swearing. Got distracted. I'm looking for a piece that I need. Oh, where is that? I think it's one that went shooting off somewhere else. Ugh. Where did it go? The piece got misplaced. Where did the piece go? I'm like, there's a piece that I saw. Oh, it's still in the bag. I'm like, I'm missing a piece. This is what happens. The piece is still in the bag. So hair cutting, using scissors, arguing, swearing, saying unlucky words, such as death or sickness, and breaking things. And there's more taboos beyond that, but that's kind of like some of the basics. And then 11, children receive lucky money in red envelopes. And if you're a prize winner, I'll send you, I'll put some stuff in red envelopes. I'm not putting money in red envelopes for you guys, though. You guys do not get money in red envelopes. Not from me. Doop, doop, doop. That seems a little... Oh, because it needs to go this way. I'm like, that doesn't seem like it fits like that. It does not. If it's like, it does not center. My brain is not liking that this is not centered on here. I'm like, it needs to be centered. It's not centered. You see that? Like, my brain is not liking that that is not centered. I'm like, okay. But it's how it's supposed to be. It just doesn't like that it's not centered. It really does not like that it's not centered. Okay. 11. So, the red envelopes. So, in other cultures, children receive gifts for the holidays. And gifts will also be exchanged during the Spring Festival. But Chinese children receive the red envelopes, or red packets or pockets, and these envelopes include money, and this is supposed to help transfer fortune from the elders to the kids. You can also give them, I can't see past you, Sushi. You're not very helpful. You are so not helpful, little thing. You can also be given between bosses and employees, coworkers, friends, and you also, now that we have more technology, you'll also see digital red envelopes. Our red packets are trending now. They're a lot more popular. So in a lot of the dramas that I watch, you can see the people will send digital red packets in group chats, and you can send one into a group chat and watch others fight for the money, because whoever clicks on it first gets it. And this is called Jing Hong Bao, or literally snatching red pockets. Number 12, you eat dumplings for every meal every day. Technically, you're supposed to, but not many people do that anymore, because you can have too much of even the most delicious foods. So you'll eat them during your New Year's Eve dinner, and then others will eat them for the first breakfast. And dumplings aren't popular everywhere in China. It's more regional, so it's not everywhere. that they'll do this. So it just depends on what region you're in. So northern China tends to be more popular. In the south, they'll do like spring rolls, egg rolls, and glutinous rice in soup called tangwan. 13, Chinese New Year desserts that have special meanings. So like, and a lot of them will have puns within the names. That's going to be something that's popular within. So now we're done with bag 1, and we can move on to bag 2. So, like, tengwan literally means soup balls, but it sounds like tuanyan, which means reunion. Because there's pronunciation is a big thing in Chinese. So it's no surprise that a popular dessert for Chinese New Year is the tengwan, which sounds like tuanyan. Niangao, which is a type of rice cake, symbolizes success each and every year. Fa guao, which is a hybrid of sponge cakes and muffins. People dye it with festive colors. The fa is the same as in fa kuai, which means to get rich. So there's a lot of play on words when we talk about the foods that they say. And my pronunciation is absolute crap. So if you want to know how it's actually pronounced, do not listen to me trying to pronounce it, because my pronunciation of Chinese is horrendous. So that is not the best pronunciation. There is also wine. Do not, that is mine. Put the paw away. She's like, oh, but I want the Legos. Then I mean, how many cats can sit here and be as well behaved as our sushi? Hopefully you guys can see more than just ears. All right, so now we're on to number 14, and I had to switch to a voiceover because it's extremely cold here in Florida, and it's my heat pump turned on, and it's extremely noisy, and it's like right directly overhead, so I had to stop. I kept filming, but I just had to stop talking, and I was like, I'll just go ahead and film voiceover and editing. So we're on to number 14. So there's a wine that's specifically for the Spring Festival. So apparently Chinese people love drinking. I mean, I don't think that's specific to Chinese culture. I think that's everybody loves, like every culture, like many cultures, not every culture, but many cultures love drinking. And there's a saying that there's no manners and or etiquette without wine. This means that you need to have wine for every ceremony, festival, or important dinner. So there's wine for engagement dinners, weddings, birthdays, and of course the Spring Festival. With such a rich wine culture, it's no surprise that there are a bunch of drinking games you play. So when you're eating with someone older than you, as is the case with New Year's dinners, you have to follow a strict toasting etiquette and follow specific rules in the order of toasts, seating, how you hold the wine glass, etc. And there's a specific, and you can read more on the specifics of that and research more on that. Sushi is very intrigued by the Legos, but she's being very polite. And it's super, like, it's fascinating because she has not, I think once in the entire time I was assembling this, did she actually try to touch it with her little paw. So 15, Chinese decorate everything red for the new year. So it's a very lucky color. And you'll see every family will deck their homes in this color. And if you remember me mentioning Nian, firecrackers aren't the only thing that scare the monster away. Red is also an invaluable weapon and used in nearly all Chinese New Year decorations, which is why you see my tablecloth is red. You'll see red lanterns and strings of chili peppers, red paper on doors and windows, and more. New clothes in red are also believed to bring good luck and start over fresh. So you'll see a lot of red clothing in the Spring Festival wardrobe. And then 16 every year has a zodiac animal. I went over the Chinese zodiac animals last week. And that's the animal for the entire year. So 2025 is going to be the year of the snake. And some of the animals, such as rat, snake, dog, and pig, aren't normally well liked. But as a zodiac, they do have their positive traits that are bestowed on people born in that year as well. So some people will specifically aim to have children in specific years because of the how fortunate, like the luck that's associated with certain years. 17, your zodiac year is bad luck. Your Benming year is the year of your zodiac animal. End of the 12-year cycle, it is the unluckiest for you. So, like, for everybody that's born in the year of the snake, so the year you're born can be an auspicious year, but when it falls on that 12th year, so like if you were born in the year of the snake, and say you were turning 24 this year, or you're turning 36 this year, or 48, or whatever that multiple 12 is, that is considered the unluckiest year for you if this is your zodiac year. So whereas we're like, oh, awesome, this is my zodiac year. No, that's actually considered unlucky for you. So the Chinese believe that children can easily be taken by demons, and your Benming year is your rebirth year. So during this year, your weapon of defense is the color red. So just as you decorate your home in red, you can also wear red clothing. Many people will wear red underwear every day for the entire year. Others will wear red shirts, pants, jewelry, insoles, and more. 18. You grow 1 year older on the Spring Festival. So you have your real age in China, which is your shui, and a fake nominal age, which is your zu shui. The real age is the one we all know about. You grow 1 year older on your birthday, and your nominal age, though, increases with the Spring Festival. So the nominal age was the age most people went with until recent times, but it's still common now or used interchangeably with the real age. So it's kind of an interesting concept. So like in Korea, you're born and you actually turn 1 as soon as you're basically born. So like if you look at somebody who's in Korea, they may be, you ask them how old they are, they may say, oh yeah, I'm 27, but when you look at what year they're born, you're like, wait, no, you're only 26. So it's really interesting to see how they count how they're born. Because once they reach that new year in Korea, they turn a year old, even though they may technically to us only be a month old, kind of a thing. So 19, the New Year greeting in Chinese is Xin Kuai. I should know the pronunciation of this by now. The phrase literally means Happy New Year, but in Hong Kong and other Cantonese-speaking regions, it's more common to say Gong Hei Fat Choi. In Mandarin, it's Gong Shi Fei Kuai, means congratulations on the fortune. There's a lot of other blessings that you can hear, which is plentiful harvest, wealth and fortune, health and longevity, having children and large families. So food, money, and health are things that everyone wants, and that's important for everybody. And passing down the family name is of utmost importance, which is part of why China has such a large population, because everybody wants to pass down their name to their children and their descendants. 20, Chinese New Year ends with the Lantern Festival. So the first full moon of the Lunar New Year is the Yunxiao Festival or Lantern Festival. Though family is still important, it's a night of partying and freedoms. This is where everybody will kind of go out with their friends and have more fun. In ancient times, girls weren't allowed to venture outside by themselves, but on this night they were able to walk around, moon gaze, look at the beautiful lanterns. Because of this, it's also known as Valentine's Day in China. 21, which is our final interesting fact of this stuff. Chinese New Year is celebrated all around the world. I've been to multiple Lunar New Year festivals. So 1 out of every 5 people in the world is Chinese, but that statistic doesn't include the millions of overseas Chinese people and people of Chinese descent. So London, San Francisco, Sydney all claim to have the biggest spring festival celebrations outside of Asia. Unknown which one actually does have the biggest spring festival, but if you have a Chinatown nearby, you can definitely get a feel for what the celebrations are like. You'll see some parades, lion dances, lantern statues, fireworks, amazing food. All of that can be found in those differing spring festivals. Because you'll see some places will have a spring festival, some places will have a lantern festival. I'm actually going to look up and see what they have, if we have one or both in like a Chinese New Year. I'm going to look it up as a Lunar New Year festival around me, because they had multiple ones, because I was in LA last year. Well, I wasn't in LA, but I went to them near LA last year, and then there was one just down the hill from me in Palm Springs that I went to. So I'm going to see if there's anything in Jacksonville coming up this year. Let's see. There is a Lunar New Year celebration on February 15th. Year of the Snake Lunar New Year celebration for the southern. No, that's that's Oregon. I don't know why that said Jacksonville, Oregon. Ooh, that's kind of cool. So it looks like the zoo is doing a Lunar New Year at the Zoo and Gardens on New Year during Colors of the Wild Night. That's kind of cool. And let me see what we have. So it looks like there's one. Oh, here's one that's going to talk about Lunar New Year events in Florida. Let me see what we've got. Let me see if there's anything interesting. I'll have to look at the schedule for those. I know Orlando is going to do stuff. There's Orlando, Central Florida. There's one for Korea, like a Tet festival. So that one's going to be here, like Vietnamese. Lunar New Year festival. That's going to be more Groveland. Chinese New Year, Fort Myers. Like, there's got to be something. There's another one that's the Tet festival in Orlando. There's Tampa Bay. I'm like, there's got to be something in my area. There's another one for Orlando. Okay, there's one for my area. So I'm going to look that one up for next weekend. So that's what I'm going to do. It's good. Hopefully it's not frigid and cold. So that's going to be kind of interesting. Let me see if there's any other ones. There's a Taiwanese for Orlando. Orlando seems like a popular area for them. And another one for Orlando. Another one for Central Florida. Goodness, like that's going to be a popular area. Man, I feel like I should go to Orlando to do something. It's only like I think it's only like a couple hour drive down to Orlando. So I may have to go to Orlando for some festivals. Because I'm not seeing much down here in this area, which is kind of sad because you would think that there would be something. Huh. Here, I'll have to do some more research and see. I'm sure there's more, but oh, that's like a news article from like 2017. That's not very helpful. Let's see. Anyways, but as you can see, I encourage you guys to look up and see what is around in your guys' area. You can look up Lantern Festival. You can look up Lunar New Year events and see what's around. Sometimes it's only in like your closest major city, but if you live near a major city, I encourage you to kind of check out what there is, because it's something that's fun. If you've never actually had the opportunity to go to one, I encourage you to do it. I've had a blast every time I've gone to one and participated in them. I know, and last year in particular was fun. I got to do a couple different celebrations down in my area where I was at in Southern California, which is like a fantastic area to go for them. So I encourage that. It's going to be fantastic. Something, if you've never done it, take advantage if you're near a larger city and you've got that ability to do it. If you're up in the Bay Area in particular, that's going to be a great area. LA has so many options for it. And obviously if you're down near Orlando, you're going to have a lot of choices of where you could go. And that's it. Voila, we are done. And we have our little wobbly armed lucky cat. And it is so cute. And then you have that extra medallion that you could swap it out if you wanted to put that medallion in place. But I like to have that medallion there. It is so cute. I love it. Absolutely precious. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me assemble our cute little lucky cat. And I think lucky cat is flat enough that hopefully it avoids sushi chaos. I will probably put sushi's causing chaos. I will probably put it in the cupboard for now until I actually move into my new house and go from there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's informational video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye. Bye.